Hello and welcome to Turnbull's Threads. This is my channel where I talk about all of the things that I have been crafting. So it's been about a month since I posted, so we're up to talk about what happened in July. I don't have a ton of projects, so maybe it'll be shorter. We'll see. Let's see. I suppose I should tell you my name is Kathy Turnbull. We talked about what this channel is. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else administrative wise that needs to get taken care of, so let's start talking about some stuff that I've done. So do I have finishes? I do have finishes. I first have this. So this is knitting. Yep, so I taught a lace knitting class last month. And instead of deciding to find a pattern for lace that I was interested in, I decided that I would make my own. So I made this market bag pattern. I am actually pretty happy with how this one turned out. The handle was a fun construction problem. But yeah, this will hold a number of things. It's a all lace bag. I did learn that one class is not enough to really talk about covering all the basics for this, because there were a couple of specialty things that I did, the Turkish cast on for it, and then you have to talk about like actual lace stitches and how that all works, and then like that doesn't even get into the handle, which is kind of reverse short rows. So yes, this is actually the second bag. The first bag that I have I'm not showing because it currently holds all of my plastic bags and is hanging in the closet. So that was not something that I was like, oh yeah, I really want to show this on. I want to show all of the plastic bags that I have saved. It's exactly what I want to do on my crafting channel. But yeah. It's a nice market bag. I probably am gonna go ahead and throw it in the wash. Easy, simple knit. I am going to finish up that pattern and potentially put it on Ravelry. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So first finished object. I have a couple of more, mostly knitting, but we'll get to the cross stitch too. So the second thing that I have finished is, I don't know if I had started this in June. So I applied for a test knit. If you've watched my channel for a little bit, you've seen that I do a number of test knits. I enjoy that process of test knitting, getting a pattern from a designer, and then going through and seeing like what things, like, does the pattern make sense? Can I get through it? Does everything work out math-wise, etc.? So I find that very fun and interesting for myself. Which means that I'm usually, this year I've slowed down. I haven't done quite as many test knits because I am trying to not buy any yarn currently, because I have a ton. I have so much yarn. I don't need to buy any more yarn. So because I don't need to buy any more yarn for a good long while, I would like to do patterns. So I'm trying to like find patterns and like work through the stash that I have, because I already have a number of patterns picked out for a number of yarns that I have. So I would like to get through those. But in addition to that, like my stash of non-project designated yarns is also quite large. If you are interested in like me going through my stash, I would be willing to somewhat sample / go through where I'm storing it / how I'm kind of storing it wise. But let me know below. If not, totally understandable. It's a lot of yarn. So anyways, back to my long rambly story on test knitting. So I've really slowed down in test knitting because in addition to having to like the test knitting pattern and want to use it or keep it, I also want it to be something that I can use the yarn that I already have for the pattern. So like if it's calling for a bunch of DK and I don't actually have that much DK, I don't want to buy yarn in order to create this pattern. So I'm kind of skipping those. So that is a good and a bad thing, right? So I have not been test knitting as much. I've actually been doing more cross. I've been doing, I don't know, about half and half, I think. Like, I'll get focused on one and then I'll focus on the other. But still doing a lot of knitting. But if I have a test knit, usually all of my focus goes towards that test knit. Unlike, I'm not doing model stitching, I'm not testing a cross stitch pattern. So it's not like I have deadlines and stuff for any of my cross stitch now. I guess I technically did right before the state fair, but I don't really have deadlines for my cross stitch currently. I'm not making a project for anyone, anything like that. I have a couple of things that eventually I will give to people, but that is give to people later, not now. Anyways, test knits mean that I focus on knitting kind of primarily, because I enjoy complicated, fun test knit patterns that involve lots and lots and lots of counting. So yeah, if you were at Midsummer Stitch, I think yeah, I was there for part of the time and I was working on this then. It involved a lot of counting, so much counting. So I finished it. I am done with it. Well, I am done with the knitting portion. I still need to go ahead and block it because it's a very pretty lace pattern, but it's done and I'm so happy. Okay, so showing it. So this is the test knit and it's got 3 sections of lace, and then once you're done with all that lace knitting, woof, you get to do even more lace knitting. So for the bind off, it's just a lace pattern around the edges to bind off the entire thing. And it looks so good and I'm so happy, and it's probably gonna grow in size once I block it so that center really blooms and like opens up. So all of these holes should really, they should be a little bit bigger. So that, and then like the lace at the bottom won't be quite as scrunched. So yep, everything is gonna just open up. It's gonna be bigger and I am really happy that I finished knitting it. Thankfully the person who was running it, this was technically supposed to be done on the 31st of July. She extended it to the 13th of August, which very helpful for me. That gives me time. That gave me time to finish it because I finished knitting it yesterday, 3 days past the original deadline. And then I should be able to block it and have everything off the blocking mats and final pictures taken of it. But yes, so second finished object, also very happy with it. It looks so good. And then I think I have one more finished object, and my finished object is a cross stitch, which I was very close to being done last time, but I finished it. So, quote by Jorge Luis Borges, I have always imagined that Paradise will be a kind of library. This was from the LitStitch book that I borrowed from the library. It was due back at the library, so I frantically finished stitching all of the things that I needed that pattern for, and then like finished up the box section because that was easy enough as long as they matched, like as long as they met, and they met. So I didn't have a counting error. It made me very happy. Always fun borders. You're like, match please, yes. Or match please, no. Oh no, what do I do? So I finished this. The book is back at the library. I think I stitched most of the things I wanted out of it, so I don't think I'm gonna check that one out again. But I did find another book there that I did check out, and we'll see if I can get any of the patterns in that book done or worked on. So those are all my finishes. I guess none of them are technically fully finished because I still have steps to do with I think all of them, because I want to throw the bag into the washing machine. So washing machine, I have to block the one, and then obviously the Paradise one is not framed, or final things have not been done with it. So, but I did have 3 finishes. So let's talk a little bit more about things that I've been working on. So things that, one of my whips that I have is these guys, the baby beanies for the hospital. These are the 3 colors that I have. I've been going through and basically sewing up the top. Then I have to go through and add pom-poms to all of them, and then add the inside little tag to all of them. But first things first, let's go ahead and get all of them sewn up at the top. So I think I've got 6 or 7 to finish, and then I get to start finishing up the final details on it, like so close. Yeah. And then I get to drop them off and actually get more yarn, because I do need to do that. I'm getting close to being done with that last ball of yarn that I have, which means that I need more yarn if I'm gonna do it. So yeah, things and stuff and things. My other knitting work in progress that I have is this guy. I don't know, I think I've worked on it a little bit since the last time you saw it. This is my very boring knit in the round, don't think about it knit. This is the Cloud Sweater by Veronika Lindberg. I'm doing it in some acrylic yarn that I don't remember the name of. Looks very fun and floaty. The striping is a function of the yarn and not me doing it, so it's very nice, like just knit in the round. I still have, I think it needs to be like 14 inches, so I have a little ways to go. This one will be on my needles for a while, but I think it is turning out to be the right size, so that's always excellent. And so much yarn. That's the fun colors that I have. So that's my work wandering knit that I have going on. Might as well show some of my cross stitch now, since that was all of my knit works in progresses. Yeah. The first one is Holiday Pins X. So, oh my word, come on. There we go. I think that's mostly in focus. So, a Wonderland Santa. This one is a mostly beaded project, and then everything else, well, not everything else. Most of the other stitches are some type of specialty stitch. So I started it. We have Are we going to focus on the thing, or are we going to be annoying? And it looks like we're going to be annoying today. I am also sitting a little bit too far away from the camera, I think, to get it to focus properly. So we'll hold it here. Hopefully this will work. So what I've done so far has been some satin stitch, and I've done some Smyrna crosses. There is a little bit of cross stitch here, but we'll get all of the stitching done, and then I get to start beading it. I like beading. Beading is fun. Speaking of Mill Hill kits, I'm also doing the owlets, Huey. This is my work stitch. There we go, there's Huey. Huey's very sleepy. Huey has some of him done. Yeah, yes. Huey has gotten that much done. Maybe. Let me focus. Close. No. Yes. Yes. No. Maybe. No, that's not focused. It really likes that chair. That's all I gotta say. It loves the chair. Okay, well. Yeah, so we've gotten some of Huey's bow and a bit of his nest done, so that's where we are with Huey and that particular project. Oh, I am going to have to run and get another project because I forgot about it. This is my traveling project. Okay, I'll be back very quickly. I'm back. So other projects that I have worked on, I have this guy. This one I am actually doing for a WhipGo prompt. I need to find my WhipGo boards. I put them somewhere. I am so far behind on that. It was never gonna be something that I expected to finish, but some fun things that I would like to try and do. And I'm not sure how many we're gonna get done. We did get some done. We did dye fabric, so it'd be really nice to do some of the other fun things on there. Not necessarily make stitching goals. But one of the stitching goals was to make significant progress on a whip that was older than a year. This whip is one of my older whips. I don't know how old it is because I was not keeping track of when I started things, and I still don't really. When I go back through my YouTube videos for some of this is when I'll actually know when I started things, because I don't write it down. And I don't keep track of it, and I don't know my numbers. So if you are interested in the stats that are associated with cross stitch, I am not the person to be watching because I don't keep track of any of those numbers. I have to keep a track of enough numbers at work. I don't need to do it for fun. This is the project. It's a Jaylynn kit. World map. It's a printed piece or stamped piece on cloth, and I got that finished, and I've started moving that color down here. So I think what I want to do is try and get this particular color all finished in the area that I have here, and then move the frame, because I'm looking to probably color complete for this one. So we'll finish up colors, cross stitch first, and then work our way into other things. But I have one color done, so you can see the dark brown's already done, so now we're working on this light brown. We'll probably work on trying to get all of the like borders colors finished first, and then we'll add the rest of the stuff in the middle. It is a pretty big piece, gotta admit. It's gonna be a big piece when I'm finished, which will probably be years from now. But I did make some decent progress on it, so pretty happy with that. I finally started stitching it again. The next piece that I have is this one. This is the Prairie Schooler, the Breman Town Musicians, I believe. So if you know the Tale of the Breman Town Musicians, it's that, I don't remember if it's an Aesop's fable or not, but there's a group of animals. They happen to be looking for a place to spend the night. They're going along. They end up finding an abandoned house that's actually like a den of thieves house. And so they're all inside the house, gone to bed, and then the thieves come back and they scare all of the thieves because the thieves wake them up when, yeah. And somehow, I don't remember how the musician part of it comes in, but that's kind of the gist of the story, and then they chase off the thieves. I think that's how it goes. If I'm wrong, I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments eventually. Anyway, so this is the Prairie Schooler version of this. It came with the fabric that I'm doing it on, so I figured, hey, they've provided, when I bought this chart, the fabric was already inside the chart, so I was like, oh, might as well do it because it's already there. So I have no idea what type of fabric this is. It's a fairly rustic fabric, kind of like an Aida. I started working on the gray on this, so we've started the rooster, and we'll probably keep working down. So that's where that one is. It's mostly kind of a rest piece for my major focus that I have been working on, now that I got a little bit more steam on it, and I would really like if I could finish the 6 pages that are needed for this one, but we'll see. So speaking of projects, I did move my hoop, so this is where I didn't necessarily finish everything in here. There are definitely still some stitches that need to be done, but I was like, I'm burning out. It's very confetti heavy and wasn't enjoying where I was stitching it. I'd somewhat confused myself because I would do a length, which was fine for the first couple of colors, but because I wasn't totally completing each color when I was doing it, I did get lost a little bit more in this section. So I decided, I was like, okay, we're gonna move. We're gonna put a new section of the hoop, and then we're gonna do everything of the color that I can find in that section of the hoop that is in the pages that I'm completing right now. In the pages that don't count for getting all of the other charts, we'll like finish out the thread, but we're not gonna really try and finish that. So I finished all of what you probably can't see because it's all pretty much B5200. And then the second color that I started adding was 3865. So white on white, so much white. I bet you can't tell where it is. But I have gotten a good start on it, and I do like the color completing for the section. It helps a lot. So I might have to do that for full pieces. And I have to say, I don't really like confetti. Confetti is just, I want you to give me, like, I don't mind a little bit of confetti, but I need more block. And so far, everything with this, it's been so much confetti, like, all the time. We don't really like to block. Blocking is for losers. So, yeah, things I'm learning about myself. I do think that I will continue to do full coverage, but I'm not sure if I will do anything like this, quite like this again. I probably won't do anything. I'll try and avoid anything that I am trying to put a deadline on myself with, though. Because if it's super confetti and I have a deadline, it's going to be really annoying. Very, very annoying. So there's that work in progress. I have 2 more. The next one that I have are a set of bookmarks by Verraco. I'm working on the owl currently. Let's see. Yep. So that owl on the side, that's what I've been working on. Oh, there's my needle. I have gotten some progress done. I don't know how much you'll be able to see because very much like the other project, it's a lot of the light colored white stuff on a white bookmark. So the progress isn't quite as visible this time as like when I did the green or the actual owl bits of it, but it is coming along. We'll probably get more of it done before the next time. Put in a thread or 2. Eventually I will finish the bookmark and then we can work on the eagle one, which will also be a lot of white on white because why not? And then the final work in progress that I have been working on, which has much progress. I don't know. I think it's gotten a good chunk of progress since I did the video for June. But it is my LongDog sampler. It's fish and chips, which I am doing on a banana oil fabric. And I'm doing an ecru on that banana oil fabric, and it's looking so good. I've hit the bottom and I have hit the side. So, yeah, this right here is where my progress has mostly been. Well, stuff that I've been working on. So I have the ship and kind of the rest of that border to finish out. No, I finished out that border. It's just the bubbles. I have to finish up the bubbles and then work my way back for the ship and the waves, and then I will get to move my hoop again. That's gonna be fun. So I will move my hoop and see if my border lines up between the section that I just finished and this new section. Hopefully I counted right. I think I did. I know at least the bottom matched up. We'll find out if the sides match up. But yeah, so like the bottom quarter, I think is going to be done soon. I think. Cause like that's all done. Cause that'll all be done. I think this and this is my quarter. Like there's a little bit, teeny tiny bit over here that will need to be finished. But I think I will have a quarter done. More than a quarter, technically. But I'll have a quarter done and I'll get to move right along. I'll probably be working up and over and down, I think. I don't know. I haven't made those choices yet. That's a future Kathy problem, not a current Kathy problem. Current Kathy problem for that one is just like finishing the hoop. So this actually is my local needle shop has a Stitchy Day every Friday afternoon. I think she has some other days as well, but Friday afternoon is one that I can definitely get to. So I go on Fridays and I take this along and I work on stitching it. Because I can do monochromatic quite easily and listen and talk with other people. It also means that I get a ton done too, because it's 2 hours and it's like 2 hours of solid stitching. Unlike other places where you could be like, oh yeah, I have to do laundry, or I need to clean my bathroom, or I need to eat. All of those things take up time, and so you get distracted, etc. But this one's a like solid 2 hours just stitching, which is really nice. So those are all of my works in progress, and that leaves us with plans, I guess. Ooh, this is going to be a very short one for me. That's good. So plans. I don't know that I really have any big plans. I do want to. So the book that I got was the Earth one by Emma Congdon from the library. I would like to get the Arctic pattern done from that. So I have a couple of pieces of fabric that I need to see if they will work, if those colors will work with the color palette in that particular piece. Because it's not quite a navy, it's a shade lighter than navy, so I need to make sure that all the blues will work on it. The black should be fine, but I want to make sure that the other colors work. So that piece I would like to do. I am going to work a lot more on that Heaven and Earth Designs one, because that does have a deadline. So I need to focus on it more. Yay. Don't get to quite flit quite as much as I would like to. Any other solid plans? I don't think I have anything super solid. I have the knitting backpack Adventure Awaits backpack I started a number of months ago. I would like to work on that. I would like to get that one finished relatively soon. That way I can focus on work on getting a couple of my whips done, especially things since it's not fall yet. I have a sweater that I want to cast on, but I don't know if I want to cast it on in August. What is it? Something by Petite Knits, I want to say. It's essentially a fisherman's sweater, so Erin, it's got a lot of cables. It'll be so much fun to do. I really do like cable sweaters. So fairly complicated pattern, all kinds of fun moving parts. I want to start it, but it is summer currently and I don't necessarily want to be knitting something like that in the middle of summer. So I would like to work on a couple of my projects that are a little bit more summer friendly. So like the Adventure Weights backpack, it's a silk, it's a smaller project. That would be a good summer knitting project. I have a shawl that I started for my Decades project that's from the 90s. Yeah, pattern from the 90s that I need to work on, because once I finish that, then I can start working on the pattern from the 80s. But I haven't touched it in a while, so I should probably work on that. Those two knitting projects. I do want to get my dress finished. I want to get that dress modified. So sewing project there. It'd also be nice to work on a project bag. So I have zippers and I have fabric. I would like to get some done. Because it would be nice to have some project bags for all of my cross-stitch projects instead of just like randomly throwing them places, because that's what I do with them typically. Or throw them all in a very large bag and hopefully they don't all get mixed up, and I can identify which thing goes with which. Yeah. So I have that I want to work on. I don't know. I might start another project. I might. So I have a realist kit started, but I would also like to start one. So I don't know. Decisions. I have a bunch of kits that I would like to get started and done. I also have a lot of patterns. That it'd be nice to like start things and get them going, but I don't know what my mood is right now. If I want to work on things that I've already got started and try and finish some things, or if I want to start a bunch of new things. Because both of those things are fun to do. Yeah. And then I have a bunch of things that need fully finished, which, oh yes, that's the other thing I meant to do. Speaking of fully finishes, it is in 3 days, the state fair will be in full swing, and we will see how my stuff that I entered did. I entered a lot of things this year. So many things this year. And I have no idea how a lot of them are going to do. I will, once I get them back. So I think I get them back Monday, the 16th of August. 16th or 17th. One of the 2 days. So I will get them back on Monday. And then after that, we'll go through and we'll do a state fair recap. In the recap, I know some of them are going to be pretty harsh on their comments because, yeah, there are things in there that I liked. The thing. I'm very proud of the work that I did on it, but I know that there were deficiencies in some of them. So, like, I entered one of my lace shawls that I knit, and I didn't realize it until I started adding the second or third thing of the lace yarn in, is that I had a pretty stark colored contrast. They're hand-dyed yarns, so sometimes the dye lots don't always match up across time, or so, like, ideally you get everything from the same dye lot, but I had gotten a number of things, and this one just happened to be a very different shade. So, like, 2 of the balls were very blue, leaning on the blue-green scale, like, because it's a green and a blue that were mixed together to create this variegated yarn. So very blue heavy, and then this one other one that I was using was very green heavy. And when you knit it up, right, there's a very distinct line where you can see where those came together. That was not necessarily the best way to do it. So, like, technically I should have managed my yarn better and, like, alternated row by row with the different colors for the different skeins, because that would have helped shift it over a longer section, and so you wouldn't be able to tell that there were these huge differences between the two. I didn't do that, but it was the first time that I knit like fully laced shawl. It's a really gorgeous shawl pattern, and yeah, I entered it because why not? Show people all of the things that you can do, because someone did say when they first started encouraging everyone that I knew, or everyone in, like, crafting groups to enter the state fair, is, like, not only is it to show off the best of what you can do, but it's also to show everyone else what you can do with this thing, right? So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's a really cool, neat, like, shawl. Like, this is what you can do with it. Kind of like with cross stitch, right? So a lot of the entries that you end up getting at the state fair, it's like these beautiful pieces or like samplers where it's very formal and like you think of it and you're like, oh, it's the pinnacle, or like things where you're like, that's something my grandmother do, or like far out, and not something that like someone who's my age or younger would be like, oh, I want to try that because that is cool. So entering pieces like where you do something a little bit different or something from a little bit more of a modern designer can kind of open things up. So I have a bunch of entries. I actually finished out my 100 circles pattern and I love how I framed it. It's good. I'm so happy. That one will be an exciting one to show you guys. So I will plan on doing that sometime in the middle of August. And I think that covers all of my plans. As always, if you have questions, concerns, sarcastic remarks, feel free to put them down below and I will try and answer them in a somewhat timely manner. By somewhat timely, I mean within like the next month. Hopefully I'll answer. Ideally, it will be sooner. Realistically, it may take me a month to remember to look at it. Is there anything? Questions, concerns? I think that's all I needed to say. So if you're watching this, have a good rest of your day, rest of your week, good weekend. And I will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks. Bye!